Hello festival goers, Ellie from Chandos Road Festival Committee here, hi, and welcome to our first online music showcase. We know this virtual event can't replace the real atmosphere of a proper festival, but at least we can bring you the sights and sounds, if not the taste, touch and smell of the usual event. To misquote Meatloaf, 2 out of 5 ain't bad. So how did we get here, to this virtual place? Well, we do have form in not cancelling the festival. In 2018 we were nearly wiped out by Storm Bronner, and after that the festival committee instigated a contingency plan. We were going to overcome anything the British weather could throw at us. As you may have guessed, we did not plan for a global pandemic. But, in the words of Freddie Mercury and P.T. Barnum, the show must go on. 5 weeks ago we realised we would have to cancel this September's event. So Mike Tobin and I started contacting bands and artists who performed at the previous festivals or were due to perform in 2020. We realised we'd only be able to broadcast performers who had their own original work or used traditional and out of copyright material. Sadly, that meant that some of the brilliant acts we've had perform in the past would be precluded. Luckily, 10 local talented acts responded, and what you're going to see this evening is a collaboration of those people's work. It's a folk festival, in the true sense of the meaning of the word folk. By the people, for the people. So it's not the same format. But I can't think of a time that it isn't more important to keep people's spirits up and let them know that their community and traders are still out there. We're all waiting for the time when we can get together again, non-social distance, mass gathering, have a tasty drink and a snack, and tap our toes to some jaunty tunes. Try saying that when you've had a drink. Fingers crossed for 2021. But in the meantime, we've made you this. I want to thank everybody involved, most importantly the 10 acts who gave their time and work for free, the festival committee, particularly Di Swain who encouraged and supported the project and manages the neighbourhood email, Alexa Brewster for her second year of fabulous artwork, Catherine Jones for managing the social media accounts and being extra patient when one of the other admins messes up, Rick Parsons for managing the website, and Mike Tobin who introduced us to some of the acts. And last but not least, George Fry of By George Media, who filmed, edited and compiled the final cut and kept me grounded on what was technically viable. It's been quite the digital journey, with many of us getting to grips with apps, new technologies and programmes, and the rigours of performing with social distancing and under lockdown. One of the things all the acts have in common this evening is they love performing live. For some have prior recordings, but for many this is the first time they've had to get something down on tape, so to speak. We will all miss that audience interaction tonight, but you can leave some feedback on our Chandos Road Facebook page. Please be kind. One thing that this project has revealed is that I am to interviewing what Florence Foster Jenkins was to singing.
Crap!
Look it up. But in the words of Elvis, if it's a little less conversation, a little more action, please. We've made a link with the music. Only the music, just for you. Both videos have been timestamped so you can scroll through and find your favourite artist, and we will put the links to the artists' own digital platforms on our pages. That just leaves me to say, have a great evening, sit back and relax, or kick off your shoes and have a bop. After all, no one's watching, it's not Zoom. Chandos Road Festival is produced as a collaboration between Chandos Road Traders and Chandos Neighbourhood Association. Please support your local independent traders.
Well, hello Bob from Strom Force 10.
Hi Ellie.
Hi, lovely to have you with us this evening, and Strom Force 10, firm, regular festival favourites with our audience and with the organisers. We turn up, fill the slot, step in when necessary in the past. And so how long have you guys been playing together?
We've been around for a few years now, about 5 years. We started at very, very humble beginnings. One of the guys used to sing in another shanty band at the time, and we were talking, and we said, "Well, why don't we do it? Oh, why don't we have a go?" I wanted another outlet for guitar, because I hadn't played live for many years, and at the end, it was a bit of fun. It was a really good laugh.
And we love your synergy, and you look like a crew. So are any of them ex-mariners? I always want to know this.
Strangely, no. Not real mariners. Three of them have got boats. Which two of them have the boats haven't seen the water for a little while, but the only guy that's involved with our Strom Force 10 is our official photographer, Tom. He was actually a merchant seaman.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I mean he's our only real mariner.
Oh, right. And did he do the footage for you?
He didn't do the footage. No, he usually turns up with his camera. He's away a lot.
Oh, right.
Bless him. Tom is he still hankers for the sea, and he goes away on cruises every year. Two cruises a year, and he's away for about 3 months at a time. So he's away a lot. But when he's with us, he usually comes along and does
right. And I have to say, you're one of the smartest groups that turn out, because you do actually have a uniform, and your trousers are always pristine and lovely. And
it's a little bit like an oil painting. The further away you get, the better they look.
Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. And so you obviously all love singing and love singing sea shanties, and I gather somebody's a little, there's somebody that writes them as well. They're not all old.
That's right. Ian, who's one of the original members, he writes. He's written several shanties that have been played by other bands as well. In fact, one of his songs, "The Corncrake," has actually been recorded by the Fisherman's Friends.
Oh yes, I know.
And every now and again, he gets a little royalty check. So very nice.
Ah, so friends in high places, and
absolutely.
And you actually had a lot of gigs lined up, didn't you, before COVID struck?
Yes, we did. This COVID has really knocked the gig list for six. Up until the beginning of April, we had 30, 35 gigs lined up before, that's without any other gigs coming in. So yeah, we had a really busy year ahead of us.
And a few more festivals, not just the Chandos one.
Yeah, sure. We had 3 festivals lined up, and all of them in Cornwall. Of course, Cornwall's big for that, but yeah, we had 3 festivals lined up. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, you collect for charity when you do your singing, don't you?
Yes, we do. It as far as the guys are concerned, it's a hobby, and we sometimes go around with a bucket and sometimes go get donations, all of which 100% goes to our chosen charity for the year.
Yeah, and who was that last year?
Our last charity, it was Ashdown Old Boys Juniors. Ashdown Old Boys Rugby Club, been going for a long time, and they started a junior section. They get over 100 children from 3 to 13 on a Sunday morning turn up. And of course, it costs quite a lot of money to keep those fed, watered, and clothed. And of course, a lot of them are quite disadvantaged. So, yeah, we put our money last year into that. It was well over £1,000.
Oh, right. Oh, that's great, isn't it? And so today we're going to kick off with a recording that you did of Smugglers at last year's festival. Is there a bit of a background to that?
Not really. That's quite a modern song. Yeah, it was by a band called The Men They Couldn't Hang, and they recorded it. And I quite liked it because it was a nice bouncy guitar-driven song, so that suited me. And I had to whip the rest into line to actually get them to do it properly.
Oh, but they do really good harmonies, aren't there?
Yes, there are. Yeah, there are. Yeah, it's a good little song.
Yes, as I say, there's a great feeling in your group that you're all in it together, and yeah, it's lovely. And the second track we're going to hear is New York Girls. Is that?
Yeah, that's more of a traditional song. I think New York Girls is probably one of the songs that I would say every shanty group will sing at some time or another. It's American. It's just generally talking about a sailor who meets up with a girl who is committed to one person but doesn't mind putting it about a bit. as most sailors' songs are. They
Yes.
usually refer in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, opposite to a girl in every port, but there we go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll thank you for those tracks, and we'll look forward to kicking off the festival tonight with those.
Excellent.
The boat rides south from El Secret in the waning of the night. There's 30 men inland or foot to make our burden light. There's 30 horse at Hazel home with the halters on their heads, all set this night with the moon at height, with the wind and water set. Smugglers drink of the Frenchman's wine, and the darkest night is the smuggler's time. Away we ran from the excise man. It's a smuggler's life for me. It's a smuggler's life for me. My girl, you have a cozy bed and cattle numbering 10. Can you not live a lawful life and live with lawful men? But must I live with homely goods when there's foreign gear so fine? And must I drink at the water's edge with friends so full of wine? Smugglers drink of the Frenchman's wine, and the darkest night is the smuggler's time. Away we ran from the excise man. It's a smuggler's life for me. It's a smuggler's life for me. So well I like to see you, Kate, with a baby on your knee. But my heart is now with the gallant crew that plough through the angry sea. The bitter gales, the tightest sails, the sheltered bay our goal. It's a wayward life, it's a smuggler's strife, it's a joy of the smuggler's soul. Smugglers drink of the Frenchman's wine, and the darkest night is the smuggler's time. Away we ran from the excise man. It's a smuggler's life for me. It's a smuggler's life for me. And when at last the sun comes up and the cargo safely stored, like sinless saints to church we go, God's mercy to afford. And it's champagne fine for communion wine, and the parson drinks it too. With a sly wink praise, forgive these men, for they know not what they do. Smugglers drink of the Frenchman's wine, and the darkest night is the smuggler's time. Away we ran from the excise man. It's a smuggler's life for me. It's a smuggler's life for me. Again. Smugglers drink of the Frenchman's wine, and the darkest night is the smuggler's time. Away we ran from the excise man. It's a smuggler's life for me. 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 very much.
As I walked down the Broadway one evening in July, I met a maid, she asked me to trade a Sailor John, says I, and no way you shall change, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance a polka? To Tiffany's I took her, I did not spare expense. I bought her 2 gold earrings, they cost me 15 cents. And away you shall take, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance polka? She says, you lie me, sailor, and I'll take thee home, you may. But when we reached her cottage door, this to me did say, and away you shall take, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance polka? My flashman, he's a Yankee, with his hair cut short behind. He wears a pair of sea boots and he's a bosom on the Black Bull line. And away you shall take, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance polka? He's homeward bound this evening, and with me he will stay. So get a move on, sailor boy, get cracking on your way. And away you shall take, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance polka? So I kissed her hard and proper, afore her flashman came. Fairly well, you Bowery girl, I know your little game. And away you shall take, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance polka? A rattly glad ran from me, and to the docks did steer. Don't ever court a New York girl, stick to rum or beer. And away you shall take, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
Hello, Cenris. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
Good, good. It's lovely to have you back at the Chandos Road virtual showcase. Last year you rather saved us because I think you answered a Facebook social media post about 5 days before the actual festival and stepped in. And we thoroughly enjoyed your set where you played a pipe and the guitar. And how have you been coping in lockdown?
Yeah, I've been doing well, or as well as anyone else, I suppose. Dealing with the differences in life, you know, having not being able to go outside as much, the difference in work and everything as well. But I've been keeping busy.
Yes.
I've not actually round mine. I've been living with my partner for the last since lockdown began. So it's been a new experience for us both. So essentially, this started us living together, which was quite nice.
Yes, it's funny how many things this has pushed us all into various
Exactly.
Us older generation, we've been pushed into digital and online all of a sudden, and for the festival. So yeah, no, it's great to have you with us. And I saw on your Facebook page you've taken up playing the harp.
Yeah, so I actually picked up the harp a couple of years ago now. It was one of those things, I'd saved up money to buy a piano or a keyboard to start doing some keyboard parts in music, and I walked past a harp shop and walked in and started plucking away, and then 45 minutes later I was walking out with a harp.
Wow.
So yeah. But advantage of lockdown, I've been able to sort of pluck away at it a bit more, and been writing a couple of new songs on it which will hopefully come to some kind of complete entity.
Yeah, Yeah, and a harp. Is it just teach yourself the harp, or I guess
Yes.
at the moment it is.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, I've been very fortunate in the fact that obviously already playing guitar, stringed instrument, you kind of, once you know where notes go in terms of a sequence, it's fairly easy to pick something up. In terms of the technique, I've joined a few online Facebook groups and asked for critiques on my technique and have received them. And yeah, so that and some books. I managed to pick up couple of books off and yeah, sort of flip through and work through a few ideas.
Excellent. And then presumably it's not an electric harp.
No, alas, it's not. I mean, that would be awesome, and they do exist, but they are notoriously expensive. So I have no idea how it's going to work live yet. It's only a 27-string harp, so it's not a full-size harp. So
okay.
It's quite nice. It doesn't have any of the catches, so it's quite limited in sort of what it can do. But in terms of a first harp, probably the best one to go with.
Excellent. Because do they go out of tune when you transport them if you bring them to a festival?
Notoriously so, and temperature difference I found out is the big one. So tuning it up, the first time I sort of dusted it off once all this began, it took about a good 20 minutes to get it just in tune before I'd even started playing, because by the time you reach one end, you have to go all the way back to the other and start again, because the first string you tuned.
And you said 27 strings.
27 in total.
Oh gosh. I mean, I know it takes me ages with the guitar because basically I'm not very musical, but.
Well, it's quite weird because you have this tuning peg, so you have to turn it, and it's quite hard not to go too far one way. It's very subtle movements you have to do, and I'm still learning how to tune it before even how to play it.
You know, the next festival's 2021, so I think we've had to make the decision that 2020 has been a bit of a write-off. So, but yeah, love to have you on the harp in 2021. And what are you thinking of? Which songs are you thinking of playing for us tonight?
So, going with 2 songs off the album Autumn Moon. So, alas, no new material to present yet. Sort of, I want the first time that is performed to be performed live. But so I'm going to play Come the Morning, which is probably the biggest song I play on Spotify, closing in on a good nice 3,000 listens. And a song I don't really actually get to play that often live because it's quite a long one. It's Brothers Grimm off the album, and it's a sort of somber song story. I wrote
Is it from the fairy tales?
So no, I was just
sorry, my knowledge of the Brothers Grimm.
So I wrote it when I was at university about a girl I knew who was in a unhappy kind of abusive relationship, and sort of about how she created this kind of fantasy world to deal with it and everything. And essentially the song is about someone on the outside looking in on that and saying, try not to fear, the sort of the darkness can only go so far, sort of drawing in elements from sort of the darkness of Brothers Grimm fairy tales of wolves watching you and shadowy trees casting specters around, and taking that of the reason it's called Brothers Grimm, I guess, is because it's a tale which is quite common in the world today, and to see that, and the Brothers Grimm tales are quite sad and melancholic in there.
And they were cautionary tales to tell children what to look out for, weren't they, in life?
Exactly.
Really?
So it is a cautionary tale, essentially, about not falling in too deep. So I don't get to play it often live because it is quite a long one. So quite often I'm showcasing some new stuff, or trying to find a nice mix in the set. So it's one I don't get to play live that often. So it'd be nice.
Again, we're looking for the positives, aren't we? Or we're finding positives where, I'm sure you miss the audience and people tapping their feet and nodding their heads and joining in. But yeah, you get to, obviously this evening will be a different sort
of. For tapping feet, Come the Morning definitely has that.
Oh,
there are some tapping feet going on in that one. So yeah.
Yes. I'm going to sort of suggest to people they can dance like no one's watching, because they won't be. But yes, sorry, I sort of delved into the wrong end there, really. So basically, you're billed as a Celtic progressive folk artist.
Yes, for lack of a better single word, use all
Well, I
three.
think that's a good feel for where you're coming from. And what would you, are there some influences you want to tell us about?
Yeah, so I guess Lorena McKennitt would probably be the biggest influence on my music. So she's a Canadian musician, songwriter who has traveled the world and to all over different places with Celtic heritage, and has brought those traditional instruments from wherever she's traveled into her music. And she really sort of was the one who awakened me to this style of folk of it. You can bring in different elements from all over the place, all the different influences that one may have, and create something unique that speaks to you as an individual and hopefully the audience. And quite inspirational as well, because she's just one person. So she sort of showed me that I wasn't sort of on a fool's errand. It is possible to create multiple instrument sounds just being one person and performing live. So very inspirational in that sense. I was actually fortunate enough to see her at the Royal Albert Hall last year, and absolutely phenomenal.
You've obviously played quite a few events. What do you like particularly about the Chandos Road event?
I liked how intimate it was. There was closeness, the sense of community. So knowing that it was actually just down the road from where I live, it was amazing to see that sense of community. And everyone was super lovely, all the stall vendors, everyone was super welcoming, super friendly, and just that interspersed, that mingling, I think, which we're all kind of missing right now, is what makes these events, and especially Chandos, so great, is the chance to see the people you see every day, but in a different setting, and
yes,
that energy,
unwinding and relaxing, and
yeah, exactly, and just sitting, having a nice pint, and some food, and just feeding off that energy that we get from just being around people.
Yeah.
Great.
And I have to say, as well as sort of joining us 5 days before the festival, you also did a sterling job of stepping in when we had somebody else cancel, and you were very calm and collected, and oh yeah, I'll do another set, that's fine. So it was, because you got quite a difficult slot at the beginning, when we open the festival and we have music straight away, but quite often there's not many people there for the first act, and it's
but you know what, those people who turn up, and I'm one of them. If there's any festival I go to, I'm always there like the first act on the stage. I'm going to go see them, because everyone has to start somewhere.
Yes.
And that's me at the moment. And I go see the first band on the stage and give them support. And that's what's nice, is that you get that closeness to the audience, and that's what I loved about Chandos. Yes.
Is Cenris actually a Celtic name, or where did that come from?
It's not a Celtic name. I haven't actually come across it in anything before. It's Celtic sounding, which I like.
Yeah.
But it actually stems from an old band I used to be in when I was back at university, which was called Century Rising. And so when I decided to go off and start this solo project, I was searching for a name and nothing was good, and so I just took the first 3 letters from the band's name.
No, but it looks very, I mispronounced it earlier.
Works quite well. People recognise it as something.
Yes. Yeah. Oh well, that's
I wish there could be this epic tale of falcons and ravens and bears and lost castles and things, but alas, that's not true.
Oh, well, maybe Century Rising was carved on a stone and it split, and yes, I have to own up to being a bit of a fan of Outlander, which probably nobody else watches, but
I've heard good things about it. I have not watching it yet.
It's a bit cheesy, but it is sort of mystical worlds.
Yeah.
And what have you.
Well, I'm a Vikings fan myself.
Ah, right.
Yeah, and I have to say the Cenris is similar to Fenrir, the Nordic wolf who was going to come at Ragnarok. So maybe associations with that. Who knows?
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah.
A modern Celtic word.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Well, I think that's so. Basically, people can get your album on Spotify, can't they? And it's called Autumn Moon, and we look forward to seeing the tracks. Thank you, hearing the tracks. Thanks very much.
Pleasure to be here, and thank you all. This is Come the Morning. Hello and welcome. This is Brothers Grimm.
Life absorbed in each cycles, and in this night, parasite, he comes to feed, can put up a fight, and make you numb, make you dumb. You try to hide, got nowhere to run. There's a specter in the mist, will it come? Don't fear the dark, what lies within. Run to your home, cry where you've been. Come to my tent, not be afraid. The path you walk, the choices made. Whoa, whoa. found peace at last. Away from the past. Whoa. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Well, hello, Nick from Harmonica Nick and Friends.
Hello.
Hello, lovely to have you here. You're regulars at the Chandos Road Festival for several years now. And so do you gig in other places in Bristol as well as Chandos Road?
Oh, hello. Hi there. Nice to be here. Yes, I do. Well, this year, sadly, they've been cancelled since March. But I regularly play in all parts of Bristol, particularly in Easton and BS5, and play regularly on a Thursday night at the Red Lion in BS5, and festivals around Cotham, anywhere I can get gigs, really.
Really? Lovely. Yes, such a shame we can't be doing them this year. But, and you know, you've obviously, I would say, having heard you play the harmonica, that you're sort of fluent in it, if it was a language, and you have a passion for it. Have you managed to make a living playing music? Or?
Well, no, I don't make a living playing music. I tried to in the early 70s, when I was a professional drummer then, at that point. But unfortunately, things didn't work out financially. We had a good time, but it's always been very difficult.
Can you remember it if it's the 70s? That's
that's it.
Supposed to ask.
I'm just talking about the 1971 Glastonbury, which is on the TV yesterday. They got a short clip from it. I was at that one, actually.
Oh, wow.
1971. Not playing, but we actually played the first Ashton Court Community Festival.
Oh, yes. I used to love those.
I think that was 1973 or 4. I can't remember which. But that was then a much smaller affair. Then it later grew quite large, didn't it?
Yes, yes. Well, it's very sad that it folded, didn't it? Sort of eventually, but
well, it was a free community festival. Then everyone would wander over the suspension bridge and have a great time, have a party. Back then, there was no stage even on the first one. There was just a plug board with an electric wire coming out of the mansion. It was...
Oh, right. Oh, well, you're making us look better in the Chandos Road Festival with our carpet and our gazebo.
Oh, that's luxury, you know?
And when did you take up the harmonica?
Quite early on in my life, and I suppose I had been a teenager, and I just liked the sound of it. I heard blues bands in London in the 60s and enjoyed the harmonica. I was drumming in a band at the time, but I always kept up with the harmonica. It's a nice small instrument. I'll show you there's one more.
Oh, yes. Oh, go on, give us a note or two. Oh, maybe we should have recorded you live, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
But we have got a couple of clips, haven't we, to show?
Yes, you have. You've got a clip of John Haddon and I playing at the last year's Chandos Festival. It's not very long, but it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives a flavour. And then the second one is, I think people will recognise that a bit more, as Moondance, isn't it?
That's right. That's with my band of friends. The friends consist of Nick Roll on guitar and vocals, Chris Ellis on the drums, and John Haddon, who doubles up as a guitarist when we're doing a duo, as we did at Chandos. He plays the bass in the band, so they're a talented bunch of people, and I really love playing with them, and it's really a shame we can't do more gigs at the moment, but there you go.
Yes, yeah. And this one was shot at the Golden Lion, I think. On
That's
Gloucester.
right, yeah, Golden Line of Gloucester Road, back last summer.
Yeah. Oh, they're fantastic, aren't they? Well, is there anything else you want to tell us about the harmonica? Not really.
Well, you know, it
More
comes in
people
all
should
shapes.
take up.
Yeah, it comes in all shapes and sizes. I mean, there's two different ones there, you see. So that's
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
definitely sounds a bit different. This is a chromatic harmonica, so it's got 12 holes, but a slide which goes from sharps and flats. So
okay.
that sounds a bit different to the diatonic harmonica, which has only got 10 holes.
Okay.
10. So that's this is a particular tune. This is lovely tuning. This.
And is one better for the blues, or they?
Yeah, well, the blues is a style of playing.
Oh, right.
No, these small ones, they sound more soulful.
Oh, right.
I mean, without getting into the history of the blues and all that stuff.
We could be here sometime, folks.
Yeah, you can use those for blues, but it's not quite the same as.
Okay. Okay, so beware a man with a small harmonica. He'll be playing the blues.
But I personally, I don't play that much blues. I used to, but I don't now. We play folk, Latin, gypsy jazz, that sort of stuff.
Yes, yeah.
So it's all multi-genre.
Yes, which nicely blends in with the rest of our lineup. We've got a lot of folk and Americana and a little bit of Latin. So yeah, it's super. Well, it's been lovely chatting to you, Nick, and hopefully we'll see you in 2021 when we should be back.
Well, that'd be great. I look forward to it, and look forward to the actual virtual festival on July the
3rd.
That's it.
Yes, super. Right,
okay,
thank you.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Ellie.
That's okay. To Lynn and Helen from Duo 41, who are regular supporters of the Chandos Road Festival, and it's great to see you guys back.
It's great to be back.
and so Helen plays the fiddle and Lynn plays the auto harp. And Lynn, what is an auto harp?
Well, story started a long time ago. I was head of a special school, and my brief was to set up an arts experiences for the children.
Oh, yeah.
And the topic was the United States of America. And everybody thinks immediately the guitar. But I wanted to do something a little bit off the wall. And I found out that in the United States, in the Appalachian area, there was this instrument called the auto harp. That had become quite iconic in that area. And I also found out during my research that there was a guy who lived in England, who was English, who played the auto harp, and he'd won lots of championships in America, and he was an ex-teacher, and he was traveling around schools. And it was fantastic. It was just right for us. And he came into school with 30 auto harps, Set up workshops for the kids. They put them on the floor and they played it in pairs, and they used spoons.
Oh wow!
Very much like a hammer dulcimer, which is another old time instrument. And I heard the sound and I loved it. And I thought, when I've got time, like when I retire, this is something I can think about doing. So when I did retire, we moved into an apartment. So learning an instrument like a saxophone would be no.
Yeah.
I wanted an instrument that wouldn't annoy the neighbours. So the auto harp fitted the bill beautifully.
Yeah.
And the auto harp came from Germany and moved to America with all the immigrants.
All right.
Got changed a little bit, improved, played a different way because it started off being played on the tabletop.
Oh right. Oh, a bit
And
like bluegrass.
Yes, and then the Carter family, Maybelle Carter, Mother Maybelle Carter, they were recording. And in those days, you had just one microphone. So you had to all get round the microphone. And having an auto harp on the table on the side didn't work. So she picked it up and started playing it in front of her. And that was how it became recorded in a much better way.
Oh wow.
So that's how it started.
Yeah. And that's actually it in the background, isn't it? It's behind you on the bed.
Yes, it is.
Yes, there it is. Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. And Helen plays the fiddle excellently on the tracks as well. And where does the name Duo 41 come from?
Well, we were looking for a name because we play quite a mixture of traditional music, not particularly just we play English, American, Scandinavian, all sorts of things. And so we were looking for a name that would be quite diverse. And we came up with Duo 41 because between us, we've got 41 strings.
Ah.
So Lynn has got 37 strings on her harp, and I've just got 4 on my fiddle.
Yes.
So that's where it came from.
Yeah, and it fits very nicely having an American sort of instrument because we sort of ended up having our festival on the 4th of July and we've called it Interdependence Day with a bit of a sort of nod to the States. So yeah, no, that's lovely. And prior to the situation we find ourselves in lockdown, had you done much recording before? Or I always get the impression you're a bit more live performers. You like the feedback from the audience.
Yes, we met playing with the Highly Strung group.
Oh, right.
And between us, we decided that we'd like to play a bit more.
Yeah.
And play the tunes we wanted to play. And also work on an arrangement. So we got together and we played at the open mics at the Nova Scotia Folk Club.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Great venue for people learning to get themselves together performance-wise. They're very supportive there. And that's mainly where we played. We've also played at a few other folk clubs in Nelsey and in Fishponds. And we've also managed to get playing at a couple of festivals.
Yeah.
Lechlade is the one that I can't remember names then. Lechlade.
Oh, lovely. Yes, no, I mean, you've been much loved at the festival. You know, I heard last year, I loved it. I heard somebody saying, oh, I like those girls on the string.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, I know girls. Brilliant. So what are you going to play for us today? So one of them's called Nags Farwell, I believe.
Yes, yeah. The first one we're going to play is a traditional English tune, which we call Nags Farewell, but it's actually a medley of 2 tunes. The first one's called Black Nag, and the second one is Parson's Farewell. They're both actually Playford tunes. So Playford was a publisher who published a book of dance tunes and dances in 1651. So they're very old tunes, which was the time when the aristocracy decided that they liked the look of the country dancing. They looked more fun than what they were doing. And these dance masters started going around teaching kind of poshed up versions of the country dancing. So the first one is Black Nag. And then we go into a tune called Parson's Farewell. And initially Lynn sticks to the Playford version of it quite nicely. But then we discovered that it'd been used as a theme tune for a television programme called Black Cells quite recently. And a guy called, I've got his name written down, Bear McCreary had done a fantastic arrangement of it and really jazzed it up and made it all piratey, and we just really loved the arrangement. So we've kind of done a homage to that sort of thing, and
excellent.
Go into pirate mode at the end.
which we have had the sea shanty groups with us as well. So yes, all Bristol's past with the seafaring. Lovely. And the second track you're going to do for us tonight?
Well, the second track will be a little bit of American. It's an old time tune, but only written about 10 years ago by a guy called Steve Rosen. And it's called Nail the Catfish to the Tree. And like a lot of old time tunes, this is one of those weird names that they put to their tunes. And it's all about the best way to skin a catfish.
Oh.
And if we're really into it and people really get into it, you can buy a T-shirt.
Oh, lovely. I'm not sure Redland's ready for that, but we shall see. Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, thanks so much for being part of the virtual festival, and hopefully we can book you in for 2021.
Yes, of course.
That will be super. Lovely. Thanks. Bye then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Our next act tonight is Robi Mitch and his band, and here's Robi to tell you all about it.
Hi, my name's Robi Mitch. We're here at the virtual version of the Chandos Road Street Festival 2020, and it's a great pleasure to be here with you and with my all-star band. Sad not to be with you in person, but hopefully we'll be able to do that later this year. In the meantime, we're going to play for you 2 songs. The first song is called Big House on the Hill, and it's an ode to the big house that I grew up in along with 20 other people, and also an ode to the city of Bristol where I was born and raised and where we all abide now. And I hope you enjoy.
1, 2. Lived all my life in the city, in the big house on the hill. I find it so amazing, man, sometimes it feels unreal. Most of my friends moved to London, lived their lives with reckless abandon, but I stay home and chill in my big house on the hill. Been around the block a bit, I've been around a bit. Had some misdemeanors, but never a regret. Cause after all is said and done, a lot gets said and not a lot gets done. I kick back in my big house on the hill and I have some fun. Ba, 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 ba. Had a Nissan Micra, but some thief stole it. Had a Ford Fiesta, but the clutch was shot to shit. And the Suzuki Alto that I got from my mate's dad, man, it was the best. They called it the Yellow Peril, you were always close to death. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. They called me from the job center, said, hey, could you come on in? So I hung up my telephone and I threw it in the bin. Cause there is so much more to do than getting paid just to get screwed. I'll do my own thing on the hill where I am cute. I lived all my life in this city, a city of many hills. And it's kind of up and down, but you know there's gonna be some thrills. So I head down to the harbour side and watch the sunset on the west side. Then go driving back around up to the big house on the hill. Driving back around up to the big house on the hill. Back around the corner to the big house on the hill. The next song that I would like to play for you is called Our Year. It's a song about finding hope when hope seems unlikely or indeed impossible. And it was originally inspired by the World Cup of 2018 and the England football team and how everyone thought that football was coming home. And even though football didn't come home in the end, it was very nice to think that football was going to come home and sing about it. And I guess this song is about being hopeful in whatever the circumstances, and I'm sure that's relatable for some of you today. So do feel free to sing along. My little melting ice cream, you're looking like a nice dream.
hot summer fever. You made me a believer. Sun is on the way down, moon is on the way back up, and we're falling back to earth. I know that it's gonna hurt, but baby, this could really be our year. Ooh, and I can see it so clear. I feel it from the inside out. I'm left without a shadow, and baby, this could really be our year. Believe me, I can see it so clear. I feel it from the inside out. I'm left without a shadow of doubt. Summer's gonna stick around. No more crawling on the ground. No more messing it all up. I can tie my own laces up, and baby, this could really be our year. Ooh, and I can see it so clear. I feel it from the inside out. I'm left without a shadow, baby, this could really be our year. Believe me, I can see it so clear. I feel it from the inside out. I'm left without a shadow of doubt. So close, you know we tried. Felt so good, I almost cried. And I could still smile inside when the dream finally died. This could really be our year. So clear, I feel it from the inside out. I'm left without a shadow of doubt.
You've also kindly given us one of your solo projects. So what name do you perform under for solo work?
We don't actually. It's just the surnames of myself and my writing partner Paul. So it's Derrick and Woodward. We've been together since the early 80s. We started off as a band. There were 4 or 5 of us, and we did a few gigs then live. And after that, when things change, people move on, and it just left Paul and myself to get together virtually every Monday night, just to put some tracks together and play some music.
Yeah.
I would still like to do live stuff, but sadly, Paul isn't of the same. He doesn't. He's one of these people that likes to build a song. He likes to build the song as a construction set, and despite the fact that he's got about 10 or 12 keyboards, he doesn't feel that we'll be able to get the same effort.
No, so strangely, this lockdown period is good for recording artists, isn't it?
If you can, yeah. I mean, if you can get together, or if you've got studio facilities between you, then yeah. I mean, it could be quite a constructive period.
Yes. I think a few people have mentioned, they've actually written more songs because they've got a little bit more time due to various things. And yeah. So we're going to hear "When the Stars Fall Down," and you wrote it in the 80s.
No, that one was written, must be about 4 or 5 years ago now. It usually takes us about a year or two to get the song together. Just one song.
Yes, no, but it's just you can understand
really, we work really for a couple of hours every Monday, so it's just a pastime, really. It's just a pastime.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us, and we'll be enjoying it with a glass of wine and mellowing back.
Excellent.
Lovely. Well, I don't know whether we won't be having the Chandos Road Festival this September. Sadly, we've had to decide that we couldn't meet the restrictions required. But I have booked. I have booked a slot for 2021. So
yes.
Hopefully, we'll see Strom Force 10 then.
All being well, we'd love to be there.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Bob.
You're very welcome.
and welcome to Jake from the Open Secrets, their drummer and also fellow festival committee organizer. Lovely to be able to have the Open Secrets back with us for the virtual event.
Thank you very much for asking us. I mean, we officially really stopped playing about a year ago, but we're all friends. And I have to say that when you ask us if we had something that you could use, I talked to the guys and they said, well, great, why don't we get back together and record something for us?
Wow. So lockdown has brought the band back together.
I think we might just have revived it, yes.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Because we have various chats with other people, the different things we've had to face with lockdown and all getting used to the technology. And it's had some strange positives, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah. I think it's been, there's some good software out there for bands to use who have to record remotely. But we actually got together at a safe distance, I have to say. Just did a sort of a simple acoustic recording for this. So
yes, fantastic. And yes, not only do you have the experience of being in the bands, but obviously you've been a major part of the festival in its current format from about 2014, haven't you?
That's right, yes. Cecilia and I kind of organised the first one largely on our own. I mean, with the financial help and support of the other traders at the time, because we love Chandos Road, and we wanted to promote the street and the area. And Celia always thought that having some stalls as part of the street would work well. And I always thought, well, I'm definitely going to have some music, and it just sort of grew from just a small idea, but with some help from the traders. And it was very hard work the first year because it was all new. Neither of us had organised anything quite as big as that, and we didn't realise quite what was involved. But we managed to do it, and of course, as each year has gone along, whoever's been organising it has sort of learnt from the past, and I think it's a bit easier now.
Yes. Oh, yes, and it was great. Yes, it's obviously got a bit of a, I don't know, folk Americana following, because we've picked up some new people who want to perform from Facebook, and then when I contacted people, I had to contact people who either did traditional songs that are out of copyright or original stuff like your own music. Yes, and 11 people replied almost straight away saying yes, we can probably either record something or you can have a back catalogue thing. So it's been great. Yeah, no, really good. To be quite honest, it's been very frustrating for musicians generally because, of course, we can't play live. Well, we can in our own homes, but it's not really the same as having an audience. I have to say that Chums has really come up trumps over the last, how long has he been there now? 4 years, I think, as being a real hub for local music. And even though it's small, it's kind of cool as well, isn't it? It's a great place. Yes, it's a very personable experience, isn't it? You feel like you've joined the band sometimes.
The band get a bit too excited, you get spat on occasionally.
Your beer wobbles, isn't it?
But no, we love it as a sort of a musical hub. And actually there's some really good musicians, I think, in the area, and there's been some really successful music made there.
Yes, there's no shortage. And your own brand of music, is it influenced by Americana we were talking about, weren't we?
Yes, I suppose broadly it is. Steve Page, who really is the main songwriter, loves all things American, but really he loves American literature as much as American music, and quite a lot of the lyrics to the songs are influenced by American writers, Brew and the like. And we're all Dylan fans as well. I mean, a couple of years ago, the band took a sort of a winter off of playing original music, and we just did a whole series of Dylan gigs where we just played Dylan covers. And that was really good fun and went down really well. So, yes, I mean, I love all sorts of music, but this band, it was definitely based around American music. And our fiddle player, Chris Gamble, took to that style of music so easily and so well. He's a classical player, really, but yeah, it all seemed to fall into place really nicely.
Yes, it's interesting where people come from and their experiences, and it all melts together into the lovely outcome we have. So we're thoroughly going to enjoy the 2 tracks you've done for us this evening, and thank you very much, Jake, and see you in the future in 2021, back on the street.
Absolutely, and I'm sure this evening is going to be a great success, and thank you for organising it.
Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Baby on the telephone, phone just ring like she ain't home. So cool, so cool. How can anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girl, baby. I went right to my baby's house, note on the door saying she gone out. So cool, so cool. How can anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girlie. Come on. I went back, it was 1:45. Note on the door saying, baby, we're through. So cool. So cool. How can anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girlie. I was sitting in drinking in my favorite bar. Guess who walked in on my best friend's arm? So cool. So cool. How can anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girlie. I went down to the ocean, looked out to sea. So my baby still away from me. So cool, so cool. How can anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girl. Anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girl. Anybody tell me how cool? Come on, girl, baby.
Here we go. I'll make that. I remember you and me, we were walking by the river, we were headed to the sea. Wind will always blow your sail, stars will always shine, and you, sweet baby, you'll always be mine. We were lying in your underneath bed, ran my finger through your hair, felt your breath upon
In shadow of the moonlight, I traced your silhouette. I felt the great world turn. I knew that I was blessed. Prince kissed his princess on a ruby red lips, and when she awoke, she knew she was his. This is love, she said. She fell under his gaze. It captures your heart, and the orchestra plays. Stars will always shine in you, sweet baby, you'll always be mine.
Our next act is the Mutter Slater Band. They were booked to play in September, but of course we've had to cancel that. But they very kindly allowed us to have 2 tracks off their album Field of Stone, which is available on Angel Air. Unfortunately, I was unable to record an interview with Mutter, but I did catch up with him on the telephone to find out about the tracks. Mutter actually has links to Bristol, and when he was in the band Stackridge in the 70s, he lived at 32 West Mall Street in Clifton, and they named a song on the album after that. I also found out that he played at the first Glastonbury, so he really is festival royalty, and we were very chuffed to have them at Chandos Road Festival. So the first track we're going to hear is Weird Kid, and Mutter explained that this was a sort of semi-biographical song. It was about a guy he knew in his village where he grew up in Somerset, and this kid had a really hard upbringing. They were very poor, the house didn't even have any running water, there were quite a few children, and times were really tough. And Mutter befriended this guy and tried to teach him the bass guitar. And yeah, they got along for a while, but after some time the guy drifted off and he didn't see him again. Until 30 years later, when the chap contacted him out of the blue, he'd become a roadie and worked in America for the Stones and the Faces, and was now a millionaire living in LA. And he sent Mutter the airfare to go out and visit him because he remembered that act of kindness all those years ago. What a fantastic little story. The second track is Something We Knew as Love. Again, quite a depth to this song. It's about a romance, but after the first fires of passion have gone out, but pointing out that in the embers there's still heat and it's still worth something to hang on to. Hope you enjoy them both.
Sunlight's come some distance to dance upon your pool and warm your arms and belly. Still strange to find it full. You've also come a long way, like juice and running still. The fat man in the sunshine was that weird kid on the hill. That house was cold as Jesus, or the water from the well. You fetched up every morning in a filthy, rusty pail. But now you've come a long way. Yeah, life just and running still. The fat man in the sunshine was that weird kid. That poor weird kid on the hill. One day, somehow, a cold in the night rose up from God knows where, and like a hound dog out that gate, you were gone, gone, gone. something I could recognize. Yeah, something that we knew as love. Not a raging fire or a mad desire, but something unexpected and it's really working out and
Right, good evening and welcome to Ian and John from the Blue Badgers.
Good evening.
And
Right.
the Blue Badgers are stalwart supporters and have appeared at the festival many times, and also almost the de facto house band at Chums. So John, tell us who's in the Blue Badgers and what sort of music do you play?
Well, we're a six-piece band. We have quite a varied lineup, some very talented musicians, great versatility. So Ian plays the bass, various wind instruments, the whistles, the helicon tuba, amazing range of instruments, and also sings. We have Anthony Filer, who plays saxophone and harmonica. We have Andy Allen, who plays fiddle. We have Rick Beresford on the drums, and other percussion. We have Anthony Johnson, an amazing vocalist. He runs a Georgian choir in Bristol, and also plays the accordion and piano. And as for myself, I sing and play guitar in the band. Our strap line is truck driving music from around the world.
Yes.
So a variety of musical influences. Obviously, truck driving, influenced by the amazing Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen and some of those wonderful truck driving songs that he used to do. We do Irish music, some fantastic influences there. Great bands like Lunasa from Ireland. Blues, of course. Ian is a real Tom Waits devotee and sings a number of Tom Waits songs. So many influences. We play all sorts of things from around the world, as our strapline suggests.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I do like the Chandos Road Festival, as in it's not just guitars and drums. All sorts of instruments turn up, and I always love to hear and learn about them. I think I've forgotten what you've said on those instruments. I'm blown away. And yes, I've lost it. I might have to edit this bit. What else were we going to talk about?
Could you talk about Chums?
Chums, yes.
Yeah.
And so, Ian, you obviously know Mark at Chums very well, and you've had a regular Wednesday night gig there for several years, haven't you?
Yes, that's right. We play once a month there on a Wednesday, alternating with the quiz, and on the other sort of fortnight in the month, our fiddle player Andy runs a session there as well, so people are welcome to come along, join in with that. There's Irish music there, but there's a lot of lot of people singing songs as well. So it's again quite eclectic in the sort of Blue Badges spirit, really.
Yes.
Chums is such a fantastic place to play and to have nearby. Mark is a very accommodating landlord, loves his music, and the acoustic actually in Chums is really good. I think partially because of the suspended ceiling. So one can play acoustically in there, be heard, and people can also hear the conversations between themselves. So
Yeah.
it's not boomy at all. So it's a wonderful place to play.
And it actually inspired the second track we're going to hear this
Well,
evening.
that's right. If I may talk about the second one first, in that case, yes, I'd been meaning for a couple of years to write a song about the Chums because we enjoy it so much, and it was quite difficult to find rhymes and to sort of get a hook line. So I kind of sat on it for a while, and then thought. Then eventually wrote an Irish reel and based the song around that. And the song is about getting on my bike, because I used to work very hard as a GP, getting on my bike about 10 o'clock at night, cycling home in the rain from Bedminster and arriving at the Chums. So that's what that one's about.
Fantastic, yes, and to a warm welcome and a pint, no doubt.
Yes, oh absolutely, and to the other musicians as well.
And you never tried the acoustics when it was a corner shop?
No, we didn't. It was tempting though it was.
Probably all the stock would have absorbed the noise, wasn't it?
That's right, all those bags of flour.
It's very cozy, isn't it? And the other track you've supplied us with is a quite, as you say, quite a variety and a different continent even, is Bailando en la Boca. Do you want to tell us about that one, John?
Yeah, so this one is a tango that I wrote in after a visit to Buenos Aires. While I was staying in Buenos Aires, I was with a family. And they were great tango devotees. And every Saturday night they would go down to this community center called La Bohemia in the old part of Buenos Aires, the old port. It's called La Boca. And one Saturday night they said, well, do you want to come down? Do you want to come and join us? So I did. And to be honest, I think I had one of the best Saturday nights that I've ever spent in my life. I mean, it was basically like a village hall, sort of a community center place. We went in there and people were eating a lot of Argentinian beef from the La Parrilla and drinking a lot of very heavy Malbec wine. And then about sort of midnight, the guy that was leading the dancing, he cranked up the speakers and people just gradually made their way onto the dance floor. And one thing I really struck me was that virtually all of these people were sort of in the latter years of their life. You know, they were in their 70s and 80s, but they were all dancing with amazing elegance and passion. And there was particularly one couple that really particularly caught my eye, and they obviously had a lot of respect from the others, and they were really beautiful dancers. And it was just that moment. It was just wonderful. So I think I sort of got back at about 6 a.m, and I just started writing this song because I was so sort of inspired by it. And that's what it is, Bailando en la Boca, dancing in la Boca.
Oh, well, we've got our own little bit of Argentina tapas at Otira on Chandos Road.
Yeah.
People better go out and get their takeaway, especially to listen to your song. Yes, it's fantastic, lovely. And in fact, there's a tango club round in the Burlington Rooms in Redland, so you could recapture it, John.
I'll give it a try.
I do yoga there, and it's a very quiet weather, but I believe it's quite a happening place.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, sadly, we haven't been able to have the festival this year in September, but it's great that everybody's sort of rallied round in lockdown lockdown and we've had so many acts. And has that affected your writing and practicing the self-isolation?
Oh yes. What we did, we got withdrawal symptoms from not being able to play with each other, and so we all shelled out on this little device which allows you to make 8-track recordings and then share them between yourselves. And so, having done that, it's been just amazing. We've written far more songs, or songs at a greater rate than we ever did before. And it's been wonderful sharing our lines. You sort of put a part down and then send it off to another member of the band, and then suddenly you got a saxophone playing in the middle of your song, and it's great. And it's all been mixed together by Andy, our fiddle player, who's a wonderful recording engineer. He's really worked very hard to bring the whole thing together. But there's been a great spirit of creativity and togetherness coming out of it.
Yes,
that I'm sure we'll continue to do that even after COVID. But I think without COVID, we wouldn't have all shelled out on their devices.
Yes, no, it's funny, isn't it?
Until we arrived in Chums.
It's definitely pushed all of us to either embrace digital stuff or make a change that maybe we hadn't been resisting but hadn't thought of. Yes.
So some good will come out of it.
Yeah. But the good news is we should be back on Chandos Road in the proper street in 2021. So hopefully we'll see the Blue Badgers then, and we'll really enjoy the 2 tracks you provided for us this evening. So thank you very much.
Not at all. My pleasure.
This could be our last embrace on La Bohemia's floor, bailando en el puerto, tango until dawn, in Barker's faded barrio, the midnight hour is here. Let's take the floor together, our last chance may be near. As our jagged journey is coming to the end, for a moment we are one again. As we twist and bend, we can light the room tonight in perfect style and fashion. Paso en paso, milongueros, power and passion. Let's hold on to each other, feel the fire inside. We will arch and we will sway, perfectly entwined. Wrap your heels around me, fix me with those Cayman eyes. Take our last bow together in Barker's paradise. Can't be my Eva, I'm waiting for your sign. Face held up to heaven, beautifully in time. Resting from the madness and recollect a shrine. She was our dream, but years gone by have etched their furrowed lines. So work your magic on me for one more precious night. Show me those crazy heels flickering and bright. till we roar. We will fall in love once more on this hallowed floor. Let's hold on to each other, feel the fire inside. We will arch and we will sway, perfectly entwined. Wrap your heels around me, fix me with those Cayman eyes. Take our last bow together in Bacchus' paradise. Let's hold on to each other, feel the fire inside. We will arch and we will sway, perfectly entwined. Wrap your heels around me, fix me with those Cayman eyes. Take our last bow together in Bacchus' paradise. Let's hold on to each other, feel the fire inside. We will arch and we will sway, perfectly entwined. Wrap your heels around me, fix me with those Cayman eyes. Take our last bow together in Bacchus' paradise.
6 days you will slave away, you'll find the gardens made that way. But all at once the 7th comes, walking down the chum.
And shut the light, feel the freshness in the flight, and pedal as the rainy night falls against your face. 10 o'clock I'll never learn as St. Augustine starts to burn, and up the hill the canteens churning all around the place. Broken glass upon the ground, I struggled on until I found a stranger who could help me with the reason for the chase. 6 days you will slave away, you'll find the gardens made that way. But all at once the 7th comes, walking down the chum.
will slave away, you'll find the garden's made that way. But all at once the seventh comes, walking down the chums. 6 days you will slave away, you'll find the garden's made that way. But all at once the seventh comes, walking down the chums.
Yes, hello, and welcome to the tight-lipped combo. Lovely to see you tonight, guys, and I hope you're not going to be tight-lipped. So it was lovely to have you at festival last year, and basically I believe that was your debut event. And so how have things been since then?
Yeah, pretty good. We it was our debut event. We just sort of started off writing material then, and then kind of spent a year putting together a sort of set of original material.
Yeah.
Getting together in our shed of doom on a Monday nights and having a good old time, I think, Jen.
Yes. Oh, sorry, and I should have asked you to introduce yourself. So we've got Danny on. What instruments are you usually on?
I'm usually on the guitar.
Yeah. And then Jason?
I'm usually on the snare drum.
And Jules?
Yes, I'm on double bass.
Ah. And that's quite unusual to have a double bass, isn't it? Did you take that up recently, or is it something you've played for a long time?
No, I've played it for, well, I'm trying to think now. About 30 plus years I've been playing.
Oh right. You didn't start in the school orchestra.
No, I didn't actually. No, I was asked to play double bass in a swing band when I was in my late teens, I suppose. And it just carried on. I've played it ever since. So, yeah.
Yes, and would you say the genre of your music, the tight-lipped combo, is swing, or it's quite widespread, is it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dan does the majority of the writing, but yeah, I suppose it's a swing influence, but with a modern sort of feel to it. I think the lyrics obviously definitely are more modern than what the early 30s, 40s swing stuff would have been.
Yes, I do like yours. So one of the songs you're going to perform for us tonight is Foxy Misses, isn't it? And I suppose I ought to ask, which wife's that written about?
We can't say.
Come on, Dan.
Each tell them it's the other one's wife.
That's why it's called the tight-lipped combo.
So, and I do enjoy your lyrics because great songs are written about the human experience, but it's nice when it's sort of set in it's not, a teenage love story necessarily. I think
Dan, it's not.
Well, we're sadly no longer teenagers, I'm afraid. I mean, again, a lot of the things are almost written from a teenage perspective.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, the emotions don't change. It's sort of the setting, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. The emotion, the teenage emotions are still there.
Yes. Yeah. Just we have to keep a lid on them. But
yeah,
so that's interesting. So do you tend to write the lyrics first, or is it?
Probably, yeah. It comes together, and often what will normally happen is I like to say that things are influenced by daily events. So I will hear someone say something, and I try and make it very kind of current in terms of, someone will say something and that resonates basically. So we might do something like one of the things we've written recently was there ain't hours in a day, which was prior to lockdown, because now it feels like there is too many hours in a day, or
Yeah.
Someone says it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. Hold on, I remember that, and then you write a song around there ain't enough hours in the day, and all the things that conjures up as such.
Yes, because I should I mention we're all Skype virgins, aren't we? We've it's taken a lot of work to get here tonight. and with the tunes, I mean, do you two guys sort of improvise a bit to get to where that comes from, or is there jamming?
Yeah, well, so we usually get some kind of a basic recording, or sometimes a fairly complete recording from Dan, and then we'll have a listen to it. And then when we come to the rehearsal, we're kind of encouraged to, kind of bring a bit of our own ideas. But essentially, we kind of refer to the original, and then we tend to come up with some ideas on the spot sometimes, and things kind of ultimately get finished eventually.
Yes. And do you write it down? Sorry, I'm very old school. Is there a music score or?
I like to write things down, but just as a way of remembering things. But often it's actually better not to write things down. It's better just to keep playing things over and over and just remember them. That's a much more a much better way of doing it, really.
Yes.
And a lot of the stuff works on almost like a call and response. So the backing vocals are very important. But, often it's myself doing the main vocal. It bounces off with everybody joining in. So although it's, I like to think of it as three guys singing rather than just, one person doing it all. So
no, it all looked very polished. And you obviously enjoy performing as well. You didn't look like scared rabbits by any means. Some people get up there and they're fine. Their recorded music is fine, but the performing is a bit of a problem. And so, did you enjoy being at the festival?
Absolutely, it was great.
Yeah.
I was a bit scared, but it was good. Because it was my first gig with this band, and I was supposed to sing. I was supposed to be singing, which is something I haven't done a lot of. So I wasn't that comfortable having a microphone and playing at the same time. But I'm getting better and better at.
I didn't notice. And we had our lovely low-level gazebo that we really must get a taller one. So you were tucked away.
Yeah, my head was basically down underneath it.
Sorry about that.
You said you were put off by the beer and aid there, Jason. Is that right?
Yeah, there were some challenges.
He's a local character.
Okay.
Yes. And did you have many gigs lined up before lockdown? You had a few things.
Yeah, we worked towards. We'd started off doing a lot of support slots because we only had a limited amount of material, and then almost starting off, we had a gig booked at the Old Duke starting on the 5th of June, gents. Is that right?
Oh.
Yeah, so just often we were working up, and I had a schedule that I think I had to write a new song every 2 weeks to have 28 numbers of June. That kind of obviously when lockdown happened, helped a bit. So but we're still working through stuff gradually.
Yes. And have you tried any rehearsals digitally, or it's not easy, is it? Because the technical, it picks up the loudest voice, I think. Anything you try to? No, not tried any?
We did mention it, but I think with the lag on the internet as well, it would be difficult to do. But yes, it's a possibility, something we could probably look at.
We've been having regular chats every week. We've been kind of Zooming together, which is just a chance just for us to chat about things.
More drinking than playing at the moment.
Well,
yes, I've heard you either come out of lockdown a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk.
All three, I think.
Yes, I've been running up and downstairs, but apart from that. So the song we're going to hear tonight. One song is Foxy Mrs., which very great forethought. You'd asked for a music video to be made, so.
By a very talented young man, I understand.
Yes, a talented local man.
This man is. Absolutely handsome and very talented.
Oh, thank you.
Available for work.
Yes, available for work. And
reasonable prices.
Oh, good. Yes, by George Media, I should put the plug in. And you've also put together for us a bit of a compilation of clips that you had of yourselves.
Well, what we did is we recorded a couple of tracks recently in the studio. One of which George done a video for us, and the other one which we hadn't, but everyone seems to like the other track, which is Spilt Milk.
Right.
And just I threw together some clips on the internet one evening. It was quite fun, so gives it back. And as we haven't had the opportunity to get in the Shed of Doom and provide something live for you, it seemed an easy opportunity.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Well, I think that's all my questions really, and thank you for coming on, and we're looking forward to seeing you in 2021.
Thank you very much.
We'll be ready by then.
Oh, yeah. I might have got a bigger gazebo and a PA with two speakers by then. Lovely. Thanks
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much.
Lovely.
Thanks, Em. Thanks.
You sure got a foxy missus. Just what she do with you. She might be better off with me. So here's what I'm gonna do. You sure got a foxy missus. Just what she do with you. She might be better off with me. So here's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna sneak like a snake. I'm gonna whisper right in her ear.
I'm gonna let my gaze linger.
I'm gonna make my intentions clear, yeah, 'cause you sure got a foxy missus. Just what she do with you. She might be better off with me. So here's what I'm gonna do. Well, sometime truth pulls up a chair at your table and he kindly offers to buy the next round. You might not be interested in what he's got to say. It might be something profound. Yeah, like you sure got a foxy missus. Just what she do with you. She might be better off with me. So here's what I'm gonna do.
And I can tell by the look in your eyes that you can plainly see
she's way above your station, pal, and much better off than me. 'Cause you sure got a foxy missus. Just what she do with you. She might be better off with me. So here's what I'm gonna do. You sure got a foxy missus. Just what she do with you. She might be better off with me. So here's what I'm gonna do. Spilt milk, you're crying over spilled milk. Ain't nothing but spilt milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Spilt milk, you're crying over spilled milk. Ain't nothing but spilt milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Well, I got a virus on my computer. It screwed the hard disk and the router. Spilt milk. You're crying over spilled milk. And I bought a guitar from the United States. They impounded it at the customs gate. Spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Well, I ain't belly aching or looking for no sympathy, but I'm getting a little tired of your lack of empathy. Oh, spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Ain't nothing but spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Ain't nothing but spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Well, I jumped into the sea from a boat in Greece, landed on the sea urchin, swelled up my feet. Spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. And I drove to Hull there back in the day, picked up 2 speed tickets on the way. Spilled milk.
You're crying over spilled milk. Well, I ain't belly aching or looking for no sympathy, but I'm getting a little tired of your lack of empathy. Oh, spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk. Ain't nothing but spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk.
One, two, three, four. Almost.
For 4 months.
Oh no. Well, hello Ponchatrain, and you basically introduced yourselves there with that lovely rhythm.
Thank you.
So good to see you, and doing our socially distanced interview. Do you want to introduce yourselves? Who have we got on fiddle?
Well, I'm Jean.
Hi Jean.
Jeannie. I'm Paul.
Righto.
I'm Jean's husband. Long suffering.
Oh, so you could be
She's
closer
long
together.
suffering.
They're in a
And
double.
on double bass.
I'm Rick.
Hi.
I'm Stig.
On ukulele banjo.
That sort of thing, yeah.
Oh, what? Go on. What is it then?
Mandolin.
Oh wow! And how many strings does that have?
Too many for comfort.
Oh,
really.
right.
I bought it at the start of lockdown, treated myself. And I'm still trying to remember how to play.
Of course, you realise you've just, just committed the arch crime by calling it a ukulele. That's a prison sentence.
Oh dear.
Or even worse.
Oh,
Or even worse. Yeah.
Oh right. Well, we've had a few people start different instruments because of lockdown. We've had somebody start learning the harp, so that's quite interesting. And you're usually regulars at Chums. We love having you down there, and also regulars at the Chandos Road Festival. And you've very kindly given us a couple of tracks to play this evening. So do you want to tell us about the first one, Lonesome Journey?
Lonesome Journey. I've got to get mixed up. No, Lonesome Journey was written by Wiley Bartdole. It's the title track to our album. And it's a tune that, as we're called, Ponchatrain, which is all based around Louisiana. Wiley Bartdole was a Louisiana singer. He used to play with a couple of guys called
Somebody
he's
Brothers.
gone now. Rusty and Doug.
Yeah.
Rusty and Doug. and he was the backing singer and piano player on many of their tunes, and I just think it's a lovely song.
Yeah.
So that's why we choose that. We thought it was a good track for not only for the lockdown, but for the album as well.
Yes, and your album's available from your website, isn't
It is,
Yes.
or from us in person.
Oh, righto.
Rick knows all about that. He's our treasurer. Or he is now.
So he's in charge of Take the Money, is he?
Actually, I've just changed my mind. He would spend it on beer.
I'm not sure any of us are very trustworthy, are we, Paul?
And the second track we're going to hear tonight is Take the Money.
Looking for Money.
Looking for Money.
Looking
Sorry.
for Money, yeah. Looking for Money was by a guy called Al Urban. And I phoned a friend today in Cardiff who went to meet Al Urban in Texas.
Wow.
About 15, maybe 20 years ago. They were on the hunt for a kind of old-timey rockabilly legends that are still out there. And they went to his farm. He's a turkey farmer in Texas, and he wasn't particularly a nice guy. But anyway, he sat round and played a few songs for them, as long as the vodka bottle kept being passed to him. So, it's a long story, but
it's kind of a role model for us.
Yeah, it's kind of a role model. But anyway, so he did Looking for Money for them anyway.
Ah, right.
But anyway, so he's a turkey farmer in Texas.
It's a great
Yeah,
track.
we've done a few gigs with turkey farmers from Texas before. Yeah, say no more.
And we were very impressed with you. You were one of the only people in lockdown who've managed to record remotely and then bring it all together.
Yeah, well, that was mostly my idea.
Was it?
I have all the technical expertise of a mouse. Or not even a mouse.
A mouse would be good.
A mouse. The mouse I found in the garden today. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who did that. Is that Rick? Was that you, Rick? Who did?
Well, I put it all together at the end.
You put it all together. You stitched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been
Fantastic,
stitched
yes.
in the past. So are we going to do a bit of that? Are we? Lonesome Journey? No, Looking for Money.
It's going to be broadcast across the airwaves.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes.
Courtesy of the interweb.
I see, right.
And sadly, we haven't been able to have the actual festival this year, but we
No.
have booked a slot for the 26th of September 2021. So we do hope you'll join us then when we'll
Yes.
be back on the street.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, we should be all inoculated and ready to go.
Yeah.
Complete with 2 heads each.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good virtual festival.
Thank you very much.
Louisiana, down on the old bayou. I was raised on shrimp and catfish. I'm mama's good gumbo. Well, I got that rambling fever. Said goodbye to mama. Crossing over a river, boy, this is what I saw. I see miles and miles and miles of Texas. One stars up in the sky. I see miles and miles of Texas. Gonna live there till I die. I said miles and miles and miles of Texas. Old stars up in the sky. I see miles and miles of Texas. Gonna live there till I die. So I started taming Broncos, I never missed a rodeo. Till I met a bad one, they called him Devil Joe. So I grabbed hold of his bridle, just a wild old outlaw. Troops from the saddle mine, this is what I saw. I see miles and miles and miles of Texas.